Hi everyone, Velvet here, and I have some stories for you today. But before we get started, can you please do me a huge favor and like, comment, and subscribe? It'll help the channel out and it'll get you more videos like this. Let's get to it. And our first one comes from Cookie Beyond 1697. Am I the beehole for refusing to give my ex extra money for her other children? My ex-wife and I have a 9-year-old son together. We broke up when he was 1 after I found out she was cheating on me. Right after I left, she told me she was pregnant and attempted to pass the baby off as mine, but I knew based on how far along that she was that it couldn't be mine. We hadn't been together like that for months at that point. But she kept trying until she was 5 months, when she conceded that I wasn't buying it. Her baby was stillborn at 7 months, and what was already a bitter enough divorce. I was mad that she cheated. She was mad that I refused to buy that her kid was mine, and didn't want to make our marriage work. What do you mean make the marriage work? I will never get people who cheat and think the other person owes anything to them to make the marriage work. You didn't want the marriage to work when you cheated. You get nothing. When she lost the baby, she did everything she could to make me pay for the cremation. Wow. I'm not, it's cold, but I'm not paying for another person's child to be cremated. I'm just not. Especially the baby that came from cheating. It may sound messed up, but no. She even attempted to sue me for the money when I didn't give her anything, but it was thrown out. During the divorce, we had a DNA test on our son and he was mine, and we split custody. The court still split custody after all that madness, showing that she's, a horrid person who's willing to trying to trick you into raising another man's son, trying to get you to pay for another person's child's funeral and all that. Jeez. My ex has been in a few relationships since, and has 3 additional children. She has more kids. Holy hell. She remarried a few months ago, and she's currently pregnant with baby number 5. But she's struggling, and so is her marriage. Okay, so she's struggling, her marriage is struggling, and she's having more children. Holy hell, OP. Who did you marry? Like, did you not see any signs that this woman was, well, crazy? But back to it. She wrote a very long email about all this and asked me to give her extra money for 2 of her kids who have birthdays coming up, and she has nothing for them because money is so tight. She also told me to take our son shopping for gifts for them, on top of giving her money directly for gifts. I thought she was going crazy. Now you think she's going crazy, OP? She's been crazy. At first, but she was serious. I told her that would not be happening. My duty is to my son and not her additional children. Very, very true, OP. Save that email, my friend, and try to get full custody. Who knows how she's treating your child when she has the other children? She told me my duty is to make sure his family is taken care of. That's not your family. That's not your blood. That's not your kin. You gotta watch your kid. I told her I'd take care of my kid, which, yeah, that's what you should be doing. I pay child support despite having our son equally to her. Oh, that's messed up. 50-50. Child support is such a scam, especially if you're doing it 50-50, because the guy is most likely going to lose. Why are you paying when you're both handling it equally? There shouldn't be money exchanging when it's 50-50. Because it's acknowledged that I earn more. Okay. But I won't be paying her to have more kids with other people. Yeah, okay. She called me heartless, told me I can easily afford it, and then some. She said I was just a heartless, as when I made sure her stillborn child didn't have a nice funeral. Holy crap, OP, what a ghoul. Am I the beehole? No, OP. No, you're not the beehole. That ghoulish creature over there is the beehole. That's not your child. I'm not paying for the child that you made from cheating. I'm just not. I know it sounds messed up because that's a baby that, isn't with us, but I'm not doing that. I can't bring myself to pay for another man's child like that. I just can't. And she's out of her mind. Oh, you need to watch out for your family. That's not your family. She's not your family. She cheated on you and you're divorced. She's basically the person who gave birth to your child. OP, take that email and anything else she's been sending to you. I hope you have this written down in text and stuff. Go to the court and fight for full custody, because who knows how she's treating that child, or how she'll start treating that child when she realizes she can't manipulate you and control you and get you back, because it sounds like she is having failure after failure of relationship. You need to protect your child, OP. Go try to get that full custody, but no, you're not the beehole. And our next one comes from Front 8770. Am I the beehole for telling my mom she's not worth the money? I, 15, live with my dad. For the past couple of years, mom visits and has had dinner with me once a month. She told me she'd love to have me over at her place, but her new husband wants to minimize her contact with her own family and wouldn't be happy if I were to spend time there. Ooh, what a prick. Yesterday, though, I found out the real reason for this arrangement. I overheard mom asking dad for the money before saying she needs more and now wants 400 for each meal. Where are you going? To that place where that scammy guy is putting things in like gold leaflets or whatever and sprinkling salt everywhere? I asked them what was going on. Mom looked embarrassed. Dad said that he's been paying for her to have dinner with me, so I could have both parents in my life, and wanted me to have my mom as well as him. Aw, what a good dude, but he's getting taken for a ride though. After hearing this, I asked her if it's true, and she admitted yes. Used to be 300 for each time. That's way too much for a meal with two people. What, 40? 40, how everything's expensive now, but not 300. She's over with me, but now needs more. I asked her if she's gambling again, and she wouldn't answer me. It stung. It really, really stung. I told my dad he can stop, and said that she isn't worth for a $400 a meal. She looked hurt. She said she knows she's been absent over the past 2 years, but she's still my mom, and I shouldn't speak to her that way. Edit. Thank you for your suggestions, everyone. Some of you have helped me confront the fact that my relationship with my mom isn't even real, since she's only spending time with me because she's getting paid to. Yeah, how effed up is that, man? You gotta be paid to spend time with your child. I will tell my dad that I don't need a fake relationship with her and only need him because he is enough for me. Update. I told my dad I understand he has good intentions and was only trying to do what he thought was best for me, but given that she had to be paid to spend time with me, our relationship wasn't real anyway. Very true, OP. I told him I love him and that he's enough, much better for us to save that money instead. So he said he will stop paying her to visit. Good. And a really friggin' grown man for saying, yeah, you should save that money. You absolutely should. What a waste of money, because she's spending, what, like I said, maybe 40, 30 bucks on a little sit-down meal with you guys, and then wasting that on gambling. So, yeah, you already took everybody's advice, what I would have given you, telling, that you love your pops, and that you shouldn't be wasting money on someone like this. So, yeah, you're not in the wrong. Good job. This one has a nice ending. And our next one is from Appropriate Rest 3979. Am I the beehole for not accommodating someone because she never spoke up? I, a 28-year-old female, recently went out with a few friends and some of their friends. Eventually, we were discussing where to get food. I suggested a few places, like pizza, Chinese, sushi, Korean, etc., etc. To me personally, those all sound amazing, but I'm almost always going to choose sushi. But Korean food, I don't know if it's changed. It's been a while since I've been to a Korean restaurant, but usually they're very affordable and you get a lot of food, so you have leftovers the next day. It's good to take that into consideration. Same thing with Chinese food. I always end up polishing off the whole thing, but you can get another day out of it. People give opinions, like they were/weren't feeling XYZ, or they have certain allergies. This one girl, Abby, never spoke up, even when I specifically asked her. I don't know her well, but I wanted to include her, but she just mumbled and never gave a definitive answer. Eventually, we settled on Korean food. Smart, save money, get a lot of food. A lot of good food too. Oh, okay. Before we start, maybe you guys can help me in the comments. I haven't been to a Korean restaurant in a while, but when I went to one, I would get this, it was a chicken and thighs, fully together, but the chicken was red, 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 and then it was on top of like cashew rice. Do you know what that's called? Because every time I ask someone about that when we mentioned Korean food, no one can tell me what the dish is. So can you please help me out with that? I'm like really serious. I want to know what that is, so I can look it up and try to make it myself. There were a few people in the group who weren't too familiar with the food, so I explained the menu. Everyone seemed to enjoy the food, and I thought that was that. Towards the end of the meal, Abby started whining about the food. She didn't like this, she didn't like that, she was unfamiliar with the food. Oh my god, I hate people like this. Like, I get if you got allergies to things and all that, but why? I will never get why people don't want to try new food. I love trying new food. You never know what you're going to discover, and who knows what your palate's going to like, you know what I mean? Like, for instance, you guys ever had whole alligator? That thing is amazing. It's like chicken and fish fused together. Like, oh, plus it was in like its full alligator shape, so I felt like a bloody animal tearing into it and ripping out its tail and eating its flesh. Oh, so good. Like, try new weird things, man. You never know what you like. I like alligator. But we're back to the story. She couldn't even choose the restaurant. Few people reminded her that I specifically asked where she wanted to eat, and it was a group consensus. Just for the record, I'm an introvert, but I can be opinionated and speak up for myself. Yeah, OP, you you asked her and she's acting like no one asked her. I asked Abby why she didn't speak up earlier, and she responded she didn't want to upset anyone. Why would she upset anyone? I'm an introvert too, but I would have spoken up too. My tone turned harsher and said, well, you could have said something earlier, instead of whining and causing a scene now. Why bring it up at the end if you didn't want if you didn't want to cause trouble? Abby's face turned red, and she got up, paid, and left. Am I the beehole for embarrassing her? No, P. No, you are not the beehole. Do you want to know why you're not the beehole? Because you didn't embarrass her. She embarrassed herself when she started making a scene, whining about the food. You just pointed out her own stupidity because, like you said in the story, you even went out of your way to include her. She just mumbled some nonsense. Everyone agreed, and she should have interjected that she didn't want that food. She probably wanted pizza, because she doesn't sound like someone who wants to try new and different things. And when you called her out on her BS, she got embarrassed and ran off. Personally, I'd say that's a win. You got some nice food, and you don't have to deal with her, because that's not someone I want to deal with who's going to start telling lies immediately as soon as I meet them. You know what I mean? Thank you for making it to the end of the video with me. And can you please do what I said in the beginning? And like, comment, and subscribe. It really and truly does help the channel out. It helps it grow, and it helps to get more videos like this. Velvet out.